Welcome to the National Heads Up Poker Championship presented by Full Tilt Poker.
The feature table has proven to be no easy match, and both Seidel and Wynn have held tight. But Scotty has recently made a charge and now holds a decent chip lead. Let's get back to the action.
You know, it's been for a long time. Me and you sit in the same table.
It's been a long time since we've been at the same table?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't play that much.
Yeah. You don't play that much.
Yeah.
We continue semifinal action. Craig Hummer alongside Ali Najad. Scotty looks at 7-6 and limps in.
Check.
Seidel with suited connectors, he checks. Scotty up over 200,000 in chips. Scotty makes sixes. Eric with a gut shot straight draw.
And 2 overs to go with that straight draw, gonna cause him to lead out.
He bets 10,000. Quick call from Scotty.
3-ball, baby.
Scotty has the only spade.
Not sure if you heard him. I think he said 3-ball under his breath there. As though he's got a 5 in his hand, looking to represent that gut shot.
Eric bets 20,000. Scotty calls.
Seidel trying to represent a big hand.
Still 3-ball, baby.
Scotty's best hand improves to a flush.
And Eric giving up on trying to buy this pot.
The pot is big enough for me, baby. I have a flush, baby.
Flush is good.
Both players check. And Wynn will take it.
Very good.
Pretty tough for Eric to fire a 3rd barrel once the 4th spade hits the board. But in hindsight, it might have gotten Scotty off the flush.
You know, I play around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never take a shot when they tell you you have it.
Scotty now up 3-1 in chips.
While Eric is down to 10 big blinds.
6 tray. He limps in.
All right, baby.
8-6 for Scotty. He checks. Scotty flops top pair, but 2 pair for Eric.
16.
Wynn bets 16,000.
I just know you're gonna do that, baby.
Eric raises to 66,000.
All right. Give it to the man.
And Scotty's just going to get away from top pair.
Seidel would have been all too happy to get his stack in at that point.
So much talk about the young internet phenoms taking over, but it's been age over youth for these surprising semifinalists. An average age of 49 and not a single remaining contender under the age of 44 years old. At table 4, Annie Duke, the youngest semifinalist, is currently schooling the oldest semifinalist, Dennis Phillips.
Should probably point out that Annie said it was okay for us to say her age. We wouldn't do that.
Dennis with 9-8 raises to 40,000. Annie with Jack Trey suited.
And while Dennis is the oldest guy left in the field, to be fair, it's going to be a while before he's paying half price for coffee.
She calls. Couple of kings, neither player connects.
Check.
Both players check. Queen of spades, no help to either player.
And check.
Both players check again. 6 of clubs, Duke's jack high, still best.
65.
She checks.
Dennis going to bluff at what seems to be a completely dead pot that Annie is totally disinterested in. Look at this.
Good call.
Annie looks Dennis up with jack high.
Hell of a call. Got 9 high.
That's something you don't see every day. Wow.
Dennis said it right away. Good call.
We should pay attention to Dennis Phillips from here on out because something like that can really rattle you.
Not one of my easier calls. But not one of my easier calls.
In Annie's mind, Dennis would have checked ace high or a deuce. A king or a queen would have bet the turn. So either Dennis had a 6 or he had air.
Ace 5 for Duke.
How much do you have, Dennis? About 100?
Just a hair over it, I think.
I'm going to put you all in.
She puts Dennis all in. King Jack suited.
Dennis with a little over 7 big blinds. He'd rather be shipping it in than calling it off with this sort of hand.
I only have have about 140. I got 20 of it out there. I call.
He calls.
Bear ace. I got the 2 middles. It's either a small pair or a bear ace. I knew one of the 2.
King Jack of diamonds.
Annie going for the knockout blow right here.
Dennis is at risk.
Large crowd moving in, including Scotty Wynn and Eric Seidel.
Let's make it interesting, at least. Put a couple of diamonds up here.
Dennis facing elimination. He's behind, headed to the flop.
Dennis pairs his king.
There goes that horn again. Annie's shooting a dirty look in that direction.
Don't put a heart up here.
Here's the turn. Come on. 9 of diamonds.
Phillips still safe after the
Kings are
turn.
still in the lead.
Anybody else throw an ace away? There you go.
All he has to do is avoid an ace to double up to a playable stack and stay alive.
Here's the river.
That's a statement. Trip kings for Phillips. He'll double up to extend this match. Losing that pot and hearing those horns isn't going to make Annie happy.
At this point, it's tough to decide which one's got her more irritated. How about a little more truck horn for you, Annie? Dennis Phillips with plenty of reason to smile as the Kings and court jesters come through, and he doubles up to keep his run alive.
Welcome back to the tournament room at Caesars Palace. We have Oral Hershiser here joining us. Oral, thank you for being here. Can you talk about the field?
Well, the 2 at the feature table, Eric Seidel, he has made it through multi-generations of players, through the internet players and through the old school guys, the Mayfair Club, all of it. Started out 0-5 here in this tournament, and here he is now in the semifinals.
Picked it up this time.
Scotty Wynn and I have talked poker, but not about the math side of it, more about the psychological side of it. And so Scotty's really into, you know, we've seen him take breaks. We saw him take a break and come back against Phil Ivey from 3,000 chips, and here he is now in the semis. And then you think about Annie Duke and Dennis Phillips. Dennis Phillips, more homespun logic, just on the scene from the World Championship in the last few years. Annie Duke's been through it all. His Lady Luck has really been on her side. She put some bad beats. Had him back and forth with Jerry Yang and with Paul Wasika.
Yeah.
But the one with Wasika to keep her in the tournament with Lady Luck and her skill,
right.
You got to handicap her near the top.
So who do you like to win?
Well, I kind of like Eric Seidel. Now, Scotty will be mad at me because I'm probably closest personally with Scotty of the 4.
Right.
But I like Eric.
All right. Who has been the best baseball poker player that you've played with?
Oh my gosh, well, I have to go back. Some of the audience might not remember, but Enos Cabell. I think he used to clothe himself. Oh yeah, he used to clothe himself on road trips. He'd start out with the meal money on the plane, and he'd get off with still this meal money plus extra. And I think you'd always see Enos with a new outfit at the end of a road trip.
Well, that means he did well. Thank you.
You're welcome, Leanne.
If you can't tell from the interview, Oral takes his poker pretty seriously, maybe a bit too seriously, Craig. I'm starting to worry about my job.
Hey, I'm not going to break up the partnership, but one of those signed baseballs could go a long way.
Oral reached the quarterfinal round here in 2008, has a very legitimate perspective on this event. I better brush up on my baseball.
Phillips with 9-8, he calls. Annie with 6-5 suited, she checks. Phillips flops a 2-way straight draw. Duke with the flush draw.
32.
After having a check to him, Dennis bets 32,000.
Annie checks. Dennis bets 32,000.
And Annie calls.
Draw versus draw here. Jack of clubs would be interesting.
Annie makes her flush on the turn. Dennis drawing dead. She bets 50,000.
If you're wondering why Annie wouldn't try to check raise in this spot, it's to avoid a potentially free 4th club with such a vulnerable flush.
Good lay down from Dennis.
Good lead on the turn there by Annie. She's always planning the next step in a hand. Like in chess, in poker, it's important to think about what is going on in your opponent's head, plan your next move, how you're going to react. Annie does all those things so well.
Duke up 172,000 in chips, 5-4. She raises to 50,000. King-queen suited for Phillips.
I'm all in.
He goes all in.
And fold.
Quick fold from Duke. She couldn't fold fast enough, Ollie.
It's that time of the match. We're going to start to see these stacks get shipped in.
Eric Seidel at the featured table, a poker pro who got his education through a New York institution.
The Mayfair was a club where many of us got our start playing poker. Howard Lederer came from there, and a slew of other, excellent New York players. That was how I learned the game, playing the no-limit game there. It was a great place to learn and a great place to be. It really had a great game and a lot of fun.
The Chesterfield Club in the movie Rounders was actually modeled after the Mayfair Club.
Does that make Eric Seidel Matt Damon?
Oh, boy. That might be a little bit of a stretch.
I'm all in.
He shoves all in.
Moves all in.
Come on, Eric. Come on, baby. We. All in, huh, baby? This is gonna be. Oh man. 80% I'm gonna call. 80. The other 20% I have going to call my wife. Oops.
Looks like it's option B. Time to call the
You see
wife.
it, right?
Ace picture, right?
8 jack of spades, baby. God.
Little gamesmanship from Scotty. Ace Jack, huh?
He's been doing a lot of that in this match.
All in. That's. Oh.
Desperate times, Scotty.
8 jack of yeah. Yeah.
How much time we got on this level now?
12 seconds. So we'll be going up in the next one.
I thought it was about out. How's that for timing?
Yeah.
I missed it at 12 seconds, Dane.
Annie with pocket eights.
Make it
She
50,000.
raises to 50,000. Ace 4 for Dennis.
Let's see how he plays it in contrast to Scotty.
He'll call.
To be fair, Scotty was faced with an all-in.
6 queen jack misses both players. And they both check.
Annie not opening the action, keeping the pot small to avoid being forced to muck the eights. Checks again on the turn.
Annie makes a full house on the river. After Dennis checks, she bets 50,000.
Got a value bet at this point. Can't put Dennis on a queen or a jack.
He calls.
Good hand. Well played.
And the line that Annie Duke takes in this pot earns her the call out of ace high on the end.
30,000 line. 1530.
Okie dokie, why not?
Wow. Okay.
Dennis Phillips learning that life in the semifinals moves quickly. Annie Duke pushing the tempo at Caesar's Palace.
Daniel Negreanu.
Eric Baldwin. Joseph Cata. Huckleberry Seed.
Dario MinhAn.
Phil Ivy's jack holds up, and he moves on to the second round. And it's a 5 of diamonds. Eric Lindgren is on to round 2.
Kara Scott.
Howard Lederer. Coral Hershiser.
Antonio Esfandiari.
Jennifer Tilley.
Mike Mao.
Andy Block.
And it's a deuce. Queen high is good. Chris Ferguson is on to round 2. And it's a 7 of diamonds. Sam Farha is moving on.
Nice playing with you. Good luck.
David Williams. Eric Lindgren. Bill Ivy. Phil Gordon.
And it's an 8. Jamie Gold is on to the Sweet 16. 9 of diamonds. Gabe Kaplan is on to the Sweet 16.
Chris Ferguson.
Don Cheadle.
Jennifer Harmon.
Phil Hellmuth Jr.
Kings at 6s for Ellie. He's on to the round of 16. Ace 9 is good. Paul Watsika on to the round of 16.
Chris Moneymaker. Jamie Gold.
Gabe Kaplan.
Phil Walker.
Peter Eastgate is on to the final 8.
Annette Oberstedt.
Barry Greenstein. Paul Wassika.
Doyle Brunson is on to the quarterfinals.
Peter Eastgate. Jason Mercier.
Eric Seidel is on to the semifinals.
Doyle Brunson.
Cherry Yang.
Annie Duke is on to the semifinals.
Dennis Phillips.
Annie Duke.
Eric Seidel.
Scotty win, baby.
I just got attendance flashbacks from grade school.
A field of 64 with 117 total bracelets, 13 main event champs, then pared down to 4. Scotty Wynn holds the chip lead in the semifinals against Eric Seidel. Lines are now 10 and 20,000. Eric with king
right,
jack
baby.
suited limps in. Scotty with queen deuce will check. Scotty pairs his deuce.
Dry board. Scotty's gonna try to win it by leading out.
He bets 20,000. Eric calls.
Oh, float alert. Eric hasn't hit this flop, but he's not giving Scotty any credit for a piece, or he's just gonna try to take it away.
Seidel pairs his king to move out in front. Both players check. Scotty hits his queen to make 2 pair.
Just in case Scotty had an ace, Eric checked the turn, but that, of course, has now allowed Scotty to make the best hand.
Stop the presses, Ali. Something going on over at table 4.
Stop the time, baby.
We're all in again.
All-in situation for Annie Duke and Dennis Phillips. Duke with pocket 7s. Ace-8 for Dennis. He's at risk.
Second time Duke has taken the best of it and had Dennis on the ropes.
9 trade deuce. No help to Dennis.
Diamond out there and make you sweat it?
I'm already sweating.
And he's gotten past the toughest part.
Here's the turn.
Still 2 streets left.
6 of clubs won't save the day for Phillips. He's got 6 outs to remain in this tournament.
And he's been rivered many times so far in this event. Is this yet another?
She fades the aces and 8s, and her 2 7s put her into the final of this year's National Heads Up Poker Championship.
Confused. I was so confused. You played awesome, man.
Yeah, you played
awesome.
well. Played well.
Awesome.
Good hand.
Oh, my God.
A hell of a player.
Oh.
Annie gracious in victory.
What? Scotty Wynn and Eric Seidel have to go back to work.
We left these 2 on the river. Scotty's made 2 pair and value bet it. Seldom is he bluffing in this spot, but Eric's gonna pay him off.
Perfect.
Great bet size by Scotty Wynn.
One of the best guys in poker right here. I just want to say that. I mean, I have to say that on camera. You really are.
The horn's still blowing?
I don't think Annie minds him as much now, though.
Dennis's crew getting maximum value out of that purchase.
You got it, baby. You got it.
Scotty with 4 deuce suited. He limps in. King, queen for Seidel. He checks. Eric flops trip kings. Scotty's drawing dead.
Oh no, Eric reaching for chips. You want to slow play this rainbow board.
Scotty quickly concedes. Let's send it down to Leanne.
Congratulations, Annie.
Thank you.
Dennis, it seemed like she chipped away and chipped away and chipped away, and she finally got you, huh?
She did what, to me, what I did to the first 4 opponents.
You say that with a smile on your face.
Yeah, no.
Well, which was what? What did she do to you?
No, she chipped away. She played very, very well. She's obviously one of the best players around. There's no doubt about that.
Did you have fun here on your first time?
I had a blast. I'm 4-1 on my first time. That's not bad.
Yay. Not bad. Well, next year you're going to have to go all the way, right? Annie? Yes. Again, another match where you just had to go at it and go at it and go at it, and you finally came out on top again.
Yeah, I mean, he really actually had me confused. I think I've made a lot of mistakes in this match, so I count myself very lucky to still be here because he was an awesome opponent, you know? So really happy that I managed to pull it out. Really happy.
How did that feel when that King Jack hit?
It felt the same way as all the other ones felt.
Where everybody's just
I've
going,
had so many of them this tournament. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just really happy that the 7s held up. And you know what? The thing is that, honestly, any hand along the way doesn't really matter. It's the last hand that matters. So if you get yourself upset and start, you know, thinking about the one hand during the match, it's silly. It all comes down to the last hand. So.
All right, Eric or Scotty?
Well, obviously, I'm rooting for Eric.
Right. I know you're good friends.
I've known him forever, so I'm just going to keep rooting for Eric and cross my fingers.
All right.
Because we've been friends since I was a teenager.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Awesome. You gave me fit, man. Awesome.
35 years old. Andy do around 32. She go like, I know him forever. Seems like she know you like 60 years or something.
Oh, I got a
Congratulations.
Oh, I made a $70,000 call to Jack High, and I was right.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
I turned it back.
That's strong.
Oh, good luck.
Annie obviously proud of that moment.
Scotty up over 2-1 in chips.
Take it, baby.
Takes a look at 10-5. He folds, and Seidel gets a walk.
It's officially time to celebrate for Annie Duke, but don't go popping the champagne just yet. Still one more order of business on her docket, and that's winning the 2010 National Heads Up Poker Championship title.
Welcome back to Caesar's Palace. Well, we have one player already into the finals. It's Annie Duke, who managed to grind down Dennis Phillips until he just couldn't take it anymore. When her pocket sevens held up over his ace high, the match was over. Now let's rejoin the feature table, where Scotty Nguyen has a stranglehold over Erik Seidel.
His stranglehold 200,000 chips strong. Blinds are steady at 10 and 20,000. He raises to 50,000.
Erik raises to 50,000.
Scotty sees his king.
How much you got left, baby?
Not that much.
That's 100, right, baby? Yep. All right, I'm on.
Now sees that it's
Scotty's all in.
ace-king and puts Erik all in.
Let the shoving begin.
Erik folds. Scotty takes the pot.
Seidel with the correct laydown there.
Very nice.
Thank you.
The type of prudence that's one of 8 career bracelets, but if you ask him to name them, don't expect a quick answer.
Oh boy. I'm not really sure. I think 2 no limit hold'em, 2 limit hold'em, 1 pot limit Omaha, 1 limit Omaha, and 2 deuce to 7. That's all of my thing.
So would you call those indelible victories, Ali?
What are ways to struggle through an interview question? I'll take things remembered for 400, Craig. In all seriousness, Erik Seidel has a very impressive poker resume, obviously including those bracelets. One thing, however, he doesn't have on that resume is a victory at a TV final table. He's got a shot to get that done this year.
With 9-7, he raises to 50,000. Scotty with pocket 8s. He calls.
Pretty surprised to see Scotty smooth call. Erik's got 1/3 of his stack in the pot already. Why not just ship him in?
Flop misses both players.
Check.
Scotty checks.
2 overcards to the 8s.
Erik bets 45,000.
45,000.
You got it, baby.
Nguyen folds and Seidel steals one from Scotty.
Best hand into the muck. If Scotty would have put Erik all in before the flop, he wouldn't have had to make any more decisions. But the smooth call exposed him to that bad flop, and he check folds the best hand.
Scotty Nguyen pausing for some libation. Brief moment of rest in a stressful semifinal. More from the National Heads Up Poker Championship after this. One winner will wear the 2010 championship ring courtesy of JohnParadisoJewelry.com.
Good-looking piece of hardware.
Still a spot in the finals to decide to go up against Annie Duke. Scotty Nguyen at the moment, still with a big chip lead over Erik Seidel. Blinds are now at 15 and 30,000. Erik with 6-4 limps in. Scotty with ace-queen.
Oops, sorry, baby.
Raises to 80,000.
Scotty raises.
50,000.
Seidel folds.
Scotty really has been picking up some big hands in this match, not to take anything away from his play.
Scotty always good-natured at the table. He's been driven this year by the continued pursuit of respect.
Players like us, they think we cannot play no more. You know, time for us to step down. You know, baby. But they are wrong. Scotty will prove them all wrong. I still have it, baby. Everybody needs to go down for me to win. It just don't matter who's my opponent is.
Scotty Nguyen is on to the semifinals.
Look at me, baby. You know, this is all confidence, baby. You know what I mean? This is it. This is my year.
All confidence and all 24-karat gold. Look at that. It's got to give him a neck cramp.
Ali, I pity the fool.
You went old school A-team on me.
Scotty up just over 2.5 to 1 in chips. He looks at Queen 7 and limps in. 8 tray for Eric. He checks. Deuce King 9, no help to either player. Eric bets 30,000.
He's been leading with huge hands and leading with complete air. That's the right way to go about things, mixing it up.
Scotty calls.
Speaking of mixing it up, Scotty, float alert here.
Eric pairs his tray and checks.
He just made the best hand.
Eric checks the turn.
Oh, give the poor guy a break, Scotty.
Scotty bets 40,000.
This is brutal.
Seidel folds.
Hope you had something.
I have some pretty flop. I mean, it's just like unbelievable.
Yeah, Queen High's a pretty flop for you, huh?
Scotty shifting gears here?
Seems that way. Feels like he might smell blood in the water at this point, but he'd be wise not to get impatient. Eric's only 2 double-ups away from the chip lead.
10 deuce suited. He shoves his 120 in.
Staying aggressive, trying to make something happen.
With 10-5 suited, Scotty folds.
An appraising glance across the table from Scotty Wynn. Eric Seidel stealing blinds and hanging around in the semis.
As we return to Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, National Heads-Up Poker Championship semifinal action, Scotty Wynn up by more than 300,000 in chips over Eric Seidel.
Oh.
And he goes all in again.
Eric up to 165,000.
Scotty again forced to muck pre-flop.
Add another 30K to Seidel's stack.
Scotty Wynn on the verge of reaching the finals, but it took an epic comeback against Phil Ivey in round 2 for him to even get here.
You have 95% in chip. I have 5% in chip. I overcome that. Do you know how hard that is?
Scotty Wynn, double up.
It's nothing come easy, baby. You never see panic in my face.
It's a 10. Scotty Wynn doubles up again.
Never know, baby, never know. Skill will bring you home, but little luck involves too.
3 of hearts. Scotty Wynn will double up again.
You are the man, Scotty.
As long as I get chip in front of me, I will make it come back.
And it's a 9. Scotty Wynn is on to the Sweet 16.
You know, baby, Scotty don't give up, baby.
It's not every day you resurrect yourself against a guy like Phil Ivey, or anyone for that matter, after being down to just 2,400 in chips. Simply amazing.
Just win, baby.
Damn, baby, what did you eat?
Eric shoves in for 225 this time.
And Scotty questions his breakfast.
My first card is very pretty.
Showing a lot of pause with the ace. This is a pretty standard call. Obviously, he'd like to have better than ace-8, but...
I saw the guy go broke with that hand, so I'm not gonna play with that.
Well, the first card may have been pretty, but the other one made Scotty superstitious.
Not sure that's the right way to guide yourself through this match. As tight as Scotty is, even he's pretty much got a call there.
You know what they call that hand, baby? That's dead man walking. Yeah. My favorite hand, baby. Jack 9.
On that short stack, Eric Seidel's range is much wider than just pairs and big aces there. I'm shocked by that fold.
Scotty just looks at the king and limps in. 9-7 for Seidel.
Scotty limps. Eric raises.
He raises to 80,000.
50,000 more.
Scotty sees there's a tray there.
Scotty
He calls.
It's not an all-in, but calling there is inconsistent with what we just saw. Scotty's been playing predominantly tight, now loosening up a touch.
Eric pairs a 7 and has a gut shot straight draw.
He doesn't have enough to continuation bet and then fold, and he moves all in. Got a piece and a draw.
The pattern continues. Scotty folds. 4 straight Seidel pots without a showdown. Momentum unquestionably in his corner. He's got his first chip lead in ages.
I almost raised myself.
Scotty wins, suddenly second-guessing himself as the aggressive Eric Seidel forces laydown after laydown, quietly surging ahead and leaving Scotty in unfamiliar waters.
Semi-final action continuing at the National Heads Up Poker Championship. Scotty Wynn, who once led by 400,000 chips, now trailing a resurgent Eric Seidel.
Not trailing by much, but trailing nonetheless. And there's 9-7 offsuit for Seidel. That's the hand he just took the chip lead with before the break.
He limps in. Scotty with king 9 checks.
Wonder if this is Eric's lucky hand.
Both players pair the 9. Scotty checks.
Could be his unlucky hand here. He's in rough shape against Scotty, outkicked.
Eric bets 30,000. And Scotty calls. Seidel now with 2 pair.
Spikes the 3 outer on the turn, back to being a lucky hand.
Both players check. Eric lands the boat. Trip 9s for Scotty. What a horrible card for Wynn, Ali.
Wasn't the safest board for Eric to check the turn trying to slow play, but this is a disaster for Scotty.
He bets 100,000.
Here it comes.
All in.
Eric puts Scotty all in.
It's not a snap call for Scotty. You see, can't really make sense of this. If he calls, it's all over.
All right, baby, I call.
Oh!
Scotty calls.
That's it.
9-7
Incredible.
full house for Eric
Seidel is moving on to his first ever final at the National Heads Up Poker
Huge
Championship.
spot for Eric Seidel.
Scotty's been eliminated. Stacks are so close, though, they're going to double check by counting them down. But it is official. Seidel has gone from an 0-5 start in this event to 5-0 this year.
Eric Seidel is out of the final.
You got it, baby. Yeah.
What a turnaround.
Stunning.
All right, baby.
So the semifinal round is now complete. Our field of 64 down to 2. Eric Seidel completing the huge comeback against Scotty Wynn to set up a match for the 2010 National Heads Up Poker Championship title against longtime friend Annie Duke. Let's send it to Leanne.
Scotty, how did you let him back in?
You know, baby, that's just poker, you know, baby. That's what I call no limit, baby.
I bet you want to play him again right now and get some revenge, don't you?
You know, I have a good run, and I got lucky for a couple of days, you know, and now I'm every turn, so congratulations, baby.
Yeah, you did do well.
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Eric, I mean, this was a little bit of a different match for you in this tournament. You were behind for most of it. How did you stay focused enough to come back and beat him?
Well, I just, you know, I was lucky enough that the cards didn't go my way at the beginning and got on a streak towards the end. And when the blinds get this high, it's very difficult for your opponent if the cards start to turn.
Are you happy to be moving on to play your friend Annie?
I am. I knew it was going to be very difficult to get by Scotty. He's a fantastic player, world champion, you know.
Thanks,
so
David.
I feel very fortunate.
All right, well, she was looking forward to meeting you in the final, so good luck.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you.
Eric.
Good luck to the final, baby.